He calls me a friend of his. Think about that for a second, man. I am considered a friend of God. Yes, ma'am. We deserve hell. Ask me why.
Right. But according to the scriptures, hell is not currently in existence.
It's not what about the rich man.
No.
When he talking, no, it wasn't a parable. You know why it's not a parable? You know how I know it's not? I'll tell you why it's not a parable. Every parable doesn't mention a person specifically by name. Okay, Lazarus was mentioned in that scripture, right? Okay, Abraham and Lazarus. If Jesus said that guy had a name and he didn't, guess what Jesus is? He's a liar.
But what about the lake of
But no, I'm talking about that. I want to clarify it for you. Don't jump. He talked about, you've got a Lazarus right there. If Lazarus is not a real person and he's named, is that a lie? If Lazarus was mentioned in the rich man in the story there, if Lazarus is mentioned by name, is Jesus lying when he gives that man a name? If he never had a name.
No.
So it's the only parable in the entire.
The name Lazarus. You have to look into the meaning of the name
But
Lazarus.
he mentioned in Abraham too. Abraham too. Now think about this for a second. That's the only story that you lay claim to. Okay, there's no other parable that mentions a person by a name.
There aren't thousands
That's the only
of
one.
Lazaruses
But still, remember, that's a story about a real person. Lazarus was a real person.
Like that? For any point in the scriptures, you have to have two scriptures to support that.
No, you don't. Absolutely not.
No,
the Bible can stand by itself. Lazarus was a real person, and Abraham was a real person.
Yes, but it could be any Lazarus.
But he was a real person. But you said it was a parable.
What about the lake of fire spoken about?
But do you agree with that Lazarus is a real person or not?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a real story, not a parable.
There are other parables.
True or not?
Like eye for an eye.
True or not, though. True or not. It's real important there, though, because you came to me, you talked to me about the rich man and Lazarus.
Yes.
You base your whole theology that hell's not a real place based on that one scripture.
Yes.
Okay, but the way you decipher that is incorrect.
No.
It is.
Okay, I'm saying hell will be in existence.
No, it is. He talked about there once was a man named Lazarus that sat at a door. He was not in the future, that's in the past.
Well, outside
it's
of
in the
that,
past.
Outside of that.
But not outside of that.
Story,
Think about that for a second.
The characters were fictional or
no, but that's not. It's not a what if. You have to determine because you're basing your theology on that right there.
Outside of that story, what other scriptures say that people are burning right now?
Well, I mean that's a good enough story. It stands by itself, correct?
But there are
either that's it's false.
There are several, not hundreds of them. Sorry, there are several scriptures speaking about the resurrection 1 and the resurrection 2 and the lake of fire, where every evil person will burn at one time.
You understand how the lake of fire and hell work?
Hell just means darkness.
No, it doesn't.
Hell means grave. Also, when
have you been teaching? Have you been under the Jehovah's Witnesses?
No, I'm
not. Seventh-day Adventist?
Yeah, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist.
John talks to Seventh-day Adventist a lot.
I wasn't raised Seventh-day Adventist.
Are you Seventh-day Adventist now?
I was raised Baptist. Yes, I'm definitely Seventh-day Adventist.
You follow the.
But I'm saying real quick, the first time the earth was cleansed by water, that was the flood. The second time the earth will be cleansed by fire.
I agree.
It's a lake of fire where every evil person will burn with the earth and the earth
Forever.
will be made new.
Forever.
Well, forever. You know how you burn a piece of paper and it's burned and it burns up forever.
But there's a problem. Revelation.
It's not going to be there to burn forever.
Ellen G. White held to that. You know that she held that there was a snuff. But you hold her book.
That's not salvation.
But you hold her as a prophet, right? You hold her as a prophet.
I do.
Okay.
But I don't
she held to annihilation. Listen, annihilation was very. Yeah, but annihilation was real popular back in that time period. Jehovah's Witnesses did it, but the early church members didn't buy that. Yeah, that's right.
Every church has been created.
No, all of them, including Seventh-day Adventists, right? Okay, sure.
Yes,
all of them. But I'm saying.
churches are not holding to it, and I gotta go because.
Okay, nice to meet you. But hey, you go. Hey, do me a favor, not to be argumentative, but go and read that again and say, go do it outside. Just read it for yourself and say, hey man, is the story of Lazarus a parable or not? Because I've heard a lot of people say that before, and I don't believe it because he has a name. You know what I mean? Because he has a name. So if that's wrong, you gotta say, okay, man, maybe my theology is a little off. Because I've had corrected theology as well. I'm not above reproach, you know. But I mean, that's. Hey, nice to meet you, young lady.
Go back to the diet that we had in Eden. Plant-based.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot healthier. All right.